This past weekend was a big one for Studio Wildcard and the Ark community. Not only did we get the release of Fjordur as an official map, but we also got another teaser for Ark 2 and a massive info dump about the highly anticipated sequel. We also got some news about the upcoming Ark Animated TV series and a potential very subtle hint towards another Ark project from Vin Diesel. The first bit of info we got about the game came by way of the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase, which ran live on June 12th. After a couple of game reveals, it was announced that every game featured in the showcase would be playable within the next 12 months. Then later in the show, they gave us a spectacular teaser trailer which revealed that the game had been pushed back to 2023. With these two pieces of info combined, we should see Ark 2 by mid-June of next year. It was also announced at the same time that Ark 2 would be an Xbox console launch exclusive and that it would be playable in early access on day one with Gamepass. The last piece of info we learned from the teaser at the Game Showcase is that the first map on Ark 2 will be named Arat. Later on that evening, a post was shared on the Ark Twitter page pointing towards a new article on their forum, and this is where we start getting into the juicy details. The article was entitled Redefining the Survival Genre with Ark 2 and an update from our studio founders. And it starts by giving a brief explanation for the delay to 2023, citing being respectful to their team's health, the task of upgrading to Unreal Engine 5, and to introduce revolutionary full mod support for console players. The article then reiterates that Ark 2 will release in game preview as a console launch exclusive within Game Pass for the Xbox Series consoles and Windows PC. It will also be available in early access on Steam. With the delay explainer out of the way, the article goes on to detail some of the new features that will ship with the title, breaking them down as follows. Epic Story. Starring Vin Diesel from the Fast franchise as legendary Ark hero Santiago, experience an epoch-spanning adventure as he seeks to protect his daughter Mika, voiced by Ali Cravalho from Moana, from the ghosts of the ancient past and visions of a new future. Revolutionary cross-platform modding. Fully stackable, user-created mods for new creatures, items, gameplay features, and maps are now distributed across all platforms, including onto Xbox, and support for modded servers enabled through official mod support by mod.io. Here's a little bit more information about this new technology partnership. Mod.io is a cross-platform UGC solution supporting 11 game systems and stores. By partnering with mod.io, we are connecting Ark 2 with a complete ecosystem which mods can exist, be presented, and accessed in-game. We're excited to see our vision for mods powered by proven tech and deliver the best possible experience for players everywhere they can play Ark 2. Best-in-class third-person only gameplay. Advanced character traversal mechanics like mantling, free climbing, parkour, sliding, and swinging. Souls-like melee combat target lock, blocks, dodges, combos, staggers, special attacks, emphasizing player skill-based action. Massive new alien environment. Explore a mysterious, chaotic world where native flora and fauna are being overrun by invasive primeval creatures from an ancient Earth. Component-based item crafting. Construct your weapons and tools from a range of distinct modules to customize their look and functionality. Millions of possible combinations enable you to craft your own unique gear. The specific materials you choose will further affect the appearance of your items, with multiple options of resources found in unique regions of the world. Dynamic world events. Natural and unnatural occurrences are always happening across the game world, independent of your presence. Your choices in deciding whether to interact with these events will yield rewards or challenges. Opposing PvE force. Hostile Aratai hunt and attack you riding their own tamed creatures as they seek to drive human interlopers from their world. Advanced template building and sharing. This is probably one of my favorites. Instance rendering and network streaming enable much higher client and server performance for larger player-built structures and a longer draw distance. Survivors can set up and save their own preferred building templates, share them, and place prospective template layouts in the world to then build them out as a team. Sensory-based creature AI. No omnipresent radar. Animals now track and hunt by sight, sound, and smell. Hide from predators with visual camouflage and environmental obstructions, and learn to mask your scent. Dynamic pathfinding enables creatures to intelligently maneuver around obstacles and player-built structures. Character progression and skill system. Gain both experience points from gameplay and knowledge points by accomplishing key objectives and overcoming unique challenges to progress along a massive skill tree filled with new active abilities, perks, and passive benefits. And finally, full utilization of Unreal Engine 5 technology. See foliage react convincingly to passing wildlife, water flow downstream around obstacles, volumetric storm clouds, localized weather systems, smoke and particles affected by physical forces, and much more. Fundamental advancement of lighting systems enables a more photorealistic day-night cycle, generating real-time ambient light and shadows within both natural and player-constructed environments. The article then goes on to show a message from the founders next, and I won't read the entire text word for word, but there was a lot of detailed info within the heart of the message that I wanted to share with you. It reads, "With Ark 2, we're seeking not only to enhance the game's narrative and world building, but also retouch and improve on all aspects of what constitutes an Ark game. Foremost among these redesigns are the core player mechanics. In the sequel, which is third person only, controls and movement for both players and creatures have been completely redesigned. Taking inspiration from game systems like Assassin's Creed's automatic parkour and Breath of the Wild's climbing, player characters can now clamber over the environment in a more realistic and freeform manner. With a focus on primitive era combat, Santiago and tech have a complicated relationship. Ark 2 draws heavily from Souls-like action for its human-scale combat, and emphasis on dodges, blocks, light and heavy attacks, combos, and player reflex skill, a rarity for the PvP survival genre. For creature scale combat, suffice it to say for now that when you attack something with your T-Rex in Ark 2, the results are visceral. The animation of the attack actually hard impacts on the target, not passing through it. The victim's flesh is torn, and the target physically reacts at that location to the hit, all to convey the feeling of the raw power of such a ferocious creature. Another area that we're particularly excited about is the world event system. Rather than simply having a more or less static environment with easily predictable or repetitive occurrences a la Ark 1, the new world event system is designed to ensure that unique things are always happening around the world, whether you are there or not. Events include procedurally dynamic scenarios like watering hole gatherings, wounded creatures, tracking the signs of advanced prey, stampedes, herds, defending endangered creatures to earn their trust, finding dens of parent creatures and their young, and more. Whether you choose to engage with these events is up to you, and each can yield unique rewards and challenges. There are too many other areas of fundamental changes in Ark 2, whether it's the new opposing force Aratai who have their own tames, the new creature management and proper world map systems, the advanced component-based item crafting that enables players to choose exactly what their gear looks and functions like from millions of potential combinations, or the revamped build system which provides innumerable more building options, enables saving and sharing of build templates, or well, there's just too much to go over here. You'll get your first preview of Ark 2 gameplay down the road, and we think that you'll like what you see. Finally, saving perhaps the best for last, Ark 2 adds a revolutionary new feature for console players, fully stackable user-created mods, including on unofficial servers, for the Xbox version of the game enabled through official mod support by mod.io. This means that players who create mods using the PC version will be able to upload them to the cloud and make them available for all console players to enjoy as well. With this, as we've seen with Ark 1 on PC, everything in the game can effectively be changed, improved, and redesigned. New creatures, new game types, new maps, new weapons and items, and mechanics. Yes, modders can re-add first-person mode. The message finishes by saying, put simply, with Ark 2, our goal is to make the game that we all wanted Ark 1 to be, now that we've had the time, resources, and knowledge to do it right. There's a lot to unpack there, but the part that stands out to me the most is this line right here. The results are visceral. The animation of the attack actually hard impacts on the target, not passing through it. The victim's flesh is torn, and the target physically reacts at that location to the hit. This was honestly one of my biggest hopes for Ark 2. Solid surfaces in Ark would change everything, and this has me hopeful that this will also be the case for structure items on platform saddles and rafts. The world event system just sounds amazing, adding a whole new level to the realism of the creature's AI. Speaking of AI, the Aratai are also a very welcome addition to the game, as this is something I had always hoped Ark had, and it should add so much to the long-term playability for all types of Ark players, but most notably for those who play single player or PvE. The article then outlines the leadership structure and development partnership that Wildcard has entered with Grove Street Games to co-develop Ark 2 and rewrite the Ark Nintendo Switch code with a full revamp of gameplay functionality, graphics, and optimization. Next, we get some details on something I personally can't wait for, the Ark Animated TV series. It's not a ton of info, but they did let us know that the series now has 14 30-minute long episodes, all in post-production. To celebrate this milestone, they have released the first poster images of key characters from the show, featuring a nice cross-section of the star-studded cast in their upcoming roles. We also got a quick synopsis of the show. Ark, the animated series, chronicles the story of a mysterious primeval land populated by dinosaurs and other extinct creatures, where people from throughout human history have been resurrected. When 21st century Australian paleontologist Helena Walker awakes on the Ark after tragedy, she must learn to survive and find new allies, or die again at the hands of ruthless warlords, all while trying to uncover the true nature of their strange new world. To top this off, Ark 2 got some love from Vin Diesel on Instagram, who shared the trailer along with this caption. The best game out right now is Ark Survival Evolved. My son introduced me to the game many years back. Then Wildcard and all the genius over there asked me to shepherd the IP into the TV and film space, an honor I can't begin to describe. Any real gamer is excited for Ark 2. But I am excited for you all to see the franchise unfold on the big screen. Stay tuned. To me, this is huge. I could be reading into this more than I should, but if you look closely at the wording, he could be hinting at a potential movie based on the Ark universe. I could be stretching here, but he mentions how he was asked to shepherd the IP into the TV and film space, and finishes his thought by saying he's excited for us all to see the franchise unfold on the big screen. TV and film space could be a broad term, but to me there is only one thing that plays on the big screen, and those things are movies. I could be mistaken, but this could be a very subtle hint towards a potential live-action Ark movie. Only time will tell if I'm right, or if I'm way too hopeful at this point, but in my opinion, a live-action film with the same cast as the animated series may even give the Jurassic Park franchise a run for its money. It may be some time before we get more info about Ark 2 or the animated series, but in the meantime, at least we have Fjordar to keep us busy. I still have lots of building to do on my base there, and if you would like to see where I planned and ultimately ended up building on Fjordar, as well as 9 other awesome base locations, I've thrown a link up on the screen for you to check it out. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, keep gaming.